Folks, welcome back to Three's Into Three this afternoon. I went out and bought a little notepad book here, kind of like you see the detectives on TV carry. And that way, when I think of something I want to tell you, I can take it out and write it down and remember to tell you. When I began this channel, I had in mind what I wanted to do, but not quite everything what I wanted to do. Well, I'll tell you what, it's becoming very clear to me now. I was so fortunate to have experienced some things, to have heard about some things, and to have met some very great people throughout my Air Force career. And what I hope to do is to share that experience with you. So today I'm going to tell you about one of the IPs. He was in another flight, advance, but he just cracked me up. On occasion, I might guest help with that flight, and I had to always take the student that I was flying with and move across the room because if this guy was debriefing, I could not concentrate. His name is not pertinent to this story. His call sign was Too Tall. We called him Too Tall because he was about 5'6" on a good day after having been on the rack all night to stretch him out. But Too Tall was probably one of the funniest instructors I've ever worked with, and he was so subtle. He had that dry sense of humor. Yeah, I get that. Okay. So anyway, my first experience with Too Tall was he came in one day with a student, and he said, I just don't know what the hell I'm going to do. He said, I think this program is just moving a little bit too fast for you, son. He says, maybe you ought to take time and kind of throttle back and maybe look at some things from the beginning. Are you with me? The kid's sitting there. The kid's not sure where Bob was going with this. So Too Tall says, okay. He says, let's begin at the beginning. He says, when you're sitting up there in the cockpit, he says, and we're flying along, he says, you're going to see a couple different things. He says, you're going to see this blue part. He says, that's called sky. He said, and then you're going to see this brown and green part. And he says, that's commonly known as earth, or dirt, if you prefer. Doesn't matter. He says, now we're getting into some advanced work. He says, that line between the two, he says, that's called the horizon. I'm sitting there listening to this crap, trying to debrief my student, and my God, I just couldn't do it. Because I'd glance up and look at this kid's staring at him intently, and Too Tall just working him over. So he goes on later into the debrief. He says, I've not been an IP long, maybe 2 years. And he says, you showed me something today I've never seen in my life. And he says, I'd like you to explain it to me. The kid says, what's that? He said, well, we're out in the area. He said, and in front of us, you have a puffy cloud. Okay? It's just out in front of us, maybe about 2 or 3 miles. And he said, you're setting up to do a stall series. Now you have the whole world opened up to the left. And there's nothing but world and sky to the right. But he says, for some reason I can't make sense of, you decided to do this stall series in a cloud. And like I said, I've never seen anything like it. Besides, the book prohibits us from doing it. But I kind of wanted to see how it was going to work out. I'll be damned, you pulled it off. But I don't think the check pilot would accept that. So he says, going forward in the future, he says, either take the world to your left or the world to the right, but stay out of the cloud. Like I said, it cracks me up to tell you the damn story, just sitting there listening to Too Tall. But anyway, that was one of our IP's advance and what made every day just a joy to go flying. Take care, folks. We'll talk to you soon.